Cordial and kind greetings to you. My name is Gloria Marcela Anacona. I belong to the Capitalito, and now I'm going to do the presentation for my research study. The title of my research is Analysis of Communicative Strategies Used on Interactions Between Level A1 English Students and Native English Speakers at the Language Institute in San Agustin, Huila. The research problem. So due to I have found a pedagogical gap that favors grammar over communication. Let me see here. Over communication, there is a disconnection between learning and real life application of English language in the contextual community. So there is a limited functional oral proficiency like fluency, vocabulary, and confidence among students, and this hinders their ability to use English spontaneously with native speakers. And why I say native speakers? I live in a region where it's highly archaeological. For instance, many people from different countries around the world visit us to visit the touristic places here. So it is common and it is frequent and something like nothing strange for students, for children to interact with people who comes to visit us. So what I would like is to use those people who want to be volunteers in our institution in order to enhance the oral proficiency or the oral communicative in our students. So that's why it emerged a research question, that is, how does contextual communicative interactions with native speakers influence the oral production in English of A1 level students at the Language Institute in San Agustin, Huila? And the main objective is to analyze the impact of contextual communicative interaction with native speakers and strengthen the oral production of English A1 level students at the Language Institute here in St. Augustine. The population are students of the Smart Mind English Club. This club is located outside the town, so it is considered a rural area. The sample are 12 students belonging to the A1 level, intentionally selected based on criteria such as consistent attendance, active willingness to participate in communicative interactions, and continuity in the planned sessions. The research method. The research method and instruments is a qualitative research to deeply study language in use, focus on meaning and contextual learning or environment. The research design is a descriptive ethnographic design which allows for the observation of an analysis of spontaneous communicative practice in real scenarios. Some researchers said that we are ethnographers because we are as teachers. We interact with our community that are our students, and we are immersed in those relationships, and so we can observe, for instance, in their attitudes, their behaviors in the process of English language learning. So this research also integrate the action research, some strategies in order to diagnosis first, the initial level, then implement some activities, and finally to evaluate the impact of those activities in their communicative oral communicative competence. So this research is not merely descriptive, but leads directly to local practical reflection and improvement of communicative practice. For instance, the instruments that I used was participant observation, semi-structured interview, pre and post, and field diaries. Descriptive data analysis procedure. Descriptive analysis that allows me to organize first the data, to making the transcriptions and structuring the documents, a Word document in which I generate some metrics in order that be easier to generate the codes. And then the open coding and the actual coding using operational metrics to source data into meaningful categories like fluency, nonverbal strategies, and confidence. The open coding allows me to identify and classify meaningful units of meanings related to communicative strategies, and the actual coding is a stage where the previous categories are explored in greater depth, and then the relationship between them are examined and emerge new subteams or subcategories. Then I validate data, covers the triangulation using the interviews, the observations, and the recordings. And after that, I systematically present the data doing the report. The data analysis, categories and subcategories. After doing the coding process, emerge the following categories like oral comprehension, initial interaction, communicative and didactic strategies, improvements in oral production, and attitudes. Each one of these categories have subcategories, like for example in oral comprehension there is verbal fluency, pronunciation, and proper use of vocabulary, initial interaction, communicative confidence, communicative strategies that are verbal or non-verbal, didactic strategies like collaborative learning, and improvements in oral production. So to observe the fluency, vocabulary, and the attitudes, of course, the confidence and intrinsic motivation in the process of English language learning. So here is the data analysis evidence. This is the systematical chart that I designed. Was answering the specific objectives of my research,